All right, hey you guys, it is Final Cut Friday, and I'm super excited to be with you today. Now, again, I'm going to try to make this another short little show, only because I'm just wrapping up on some projects, and what I would love to do is to start something fun, right? And I don't have anything. But for today, what I thought I would do is to share with you guys some time saving techniques that I implement into my workflow, and I think it's going to save you guys a ton of time if you're not already doing this. And so basically what I want to do is I will just switch over to my computer here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay, so right now what I have, a lot of you guys already know this, but I have my website fdptraining.com, and what I do on here is I have a folder template system. And what kind of sparked this conversation is this last week I had a conversation with a guy who bought this from me, but he didn't know how to use it. And so what I thought would be cool is to basically explain how to use this, how to almost create your own template, and then I think, again, if you guys do this right, it's going to save you a ton of time. Now, traditionally, right, this is how you had to do it, right? You can go up to Final Cut Pro. Let's say you had a new project. You could go to File, New Library, choose a location. I'm just going to say Test for this, and we're just going to go right on the desktop. Okay, so now for this, again, nothing, it's just a blank template, right? Now, what's cool is with the new 10.3 and now .1, the new update, what's really cool is roles. And basically, I've got to bring some stuff in here. Let me just start like a new, let's see, test project. And again, sorry, I don't have any of this set up in advance. But again, all I'm trying to show you real quick is that roles now, these are based off of per library. So, for example, if, let's say, under dialogue, you can create sub-roles. So you could have one, if you knew that you always have like a lav mic, and let's say you knew that you were always going to have like a boom mic, like what's cool is now every time, what I'm about to show you, every time you come in here and do this, it'll automatically have these added to each one. And again, this goes for anything that you want to do. So for example, another one that I do on music, actually I add my own role for like purchased music. And actually, let's change this to red. So again, I typically have, music, and then I have purchase music. Because for what I do on the corporate side of things is I'll usually use a preview audio track from like premiumbeat.com, for example, and it's watermarked. So I'll leave that as music, but then as I've purchased it, then I'll move it to purchase music so I can actually see that the track has been bought. So so now from here, what's cool about this, now what else is, if, for example, if you're working on a corporate project or for a wedding, I'll say a wedding is a good example. Let's say you were to mic up, I guess, both the bride and the groom. You could actually say, channel, or, basically channel 1 is going to be my groom and channel 2 is my bride. Or if you deal with a corporate client or someone that you have ongoing work with, you could actually name these the person's name. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hit apply. And then what I'm going to end up doing is, I just want to make sure everything is set up correctly, which I believe that it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and close this library. And then when I come back here, now I've got this set up as my test library. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say, I'm just going to call this your personal template. And again, you can call this whatever you want, right? And so inside of here, let's say we're going to have an audio folder. Let's see, we're going to have a video folder, graphics. All right, you kind of get the idea, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I might even, actually, I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I'm actually going to just toss this test into this template. That was weird. It's putting it into audio. I must be, it's not what I'm trying to do. There we go. Okay, so now that I have this set up, what's cool about this is now I'm just going to right click on this and I'm going to say compress. And now what that's done is it's created a zip file for me. And what's really cool about this zip file is all I have to do now is double click this, and then it creates a new one. And then I can just hit return here, and I can name this, I'm just going to call this like client project. All right. So now inside client project, see how it's already duplicated all this stuff that I've already set up. So now everything's ready to go. I can start dragging stuff, drag and dropping stuff inside of these folders so that everything is organized inside of this project folder, if that makes sense. So now if I double click this test, actually, tell you what, I'm going to actually go back a step. Again, I'm doing this live, so I'm actually going to name this, let's just say client 1. Oh, geez, I didn't even spell that right. And again, basically every time you guys open one of these, you just create whatever your project name is. So as soon as you create it at the Finder level, when you open this up, you're ready to go. And so, again, looks like I accidentally saved this with a project, but again, you could have an untitled one. It doesn't really matter. But again, just be mindful, I guess, of what you guys are setting up for. Anyway, I'm just showing you right here. There's my boom mic, my lav mic, my purchase music. So again, what's cool about this is that everything is set up like, because roles now are based per library. So you would have to go in each time if you want these things set up. All right, you guys, so I hope that you're understanding all this stuff. Like, this is powerful to be able to go set all this stuff up in advance, because if every day you go in and you're creating sub roles and it's the same thing every single time, day in, day out, like, it's going to get old and it's going to get tiresome and you don't need to do it, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm just trying to show you the importance of doing this stuff. Because if you get in the habit of doing it now, you're just going to be able to speed up, right? Because again, you can go up to file each time and you can say new library, new project, or whatever your workflow is just opening Final Cut and getting everything set up. My workflow and how I do everything is I don't just have one library file that I have everything thrown into. I actually create a library based off of each project that I'm doing, basically, for a client. So that's just my way of organization. Again, you can choose to do whatever you'd like, as far as that goes. So let's just step back here now for a second. So I'm actually going to close this out. We're going to go back to the Finder. Okay, so that is how to create this using your own template, right? I just showed you how to set up your own template. But what's cool is, I just wanted to show you real quick, if you haven't already, this is the one that I have created. And what's cool about this is everything is color-coded already for you, and there's an actual icon. Let me see if I can actually go bigger with this. There we go. And I think I can switch maybe to this view. All right, so this should be able to, so you guys can kind of see this. Well, that didn't work. All right. All I'm trying to do is to clean this up a little bit. So, uh, what's cool about this is you can just see that all the icons and stuff that I've got that represent, like, at a glance, you can easily figure out what's what, right? And where things should go. And also inside Final Cut, this is the same green, that's what's audio. This is the same blue, that's for video. So everything is like represented. I will be coming out with an update here soon for all the folders because, again, Final Cut just came out with a new color scheme in 10.3. So I'm excited to get that released to you guys. The other thing I was going to show you is that inside of each of these folders, there's subfolders, right? So basically what I want to let you know that is if you download this and if you get it, I want to show you how you can set this up for yourself for each of your projects. Because like I said, one of the emails that came in this last week was someone bought this, they didn't know how to use it. So I was like, okay, well, let me just show you real quick. So again, because he had a question on it, I just want to share that with you guys so all of this stuff makes sense. So what we're going to end up doing now is we'll just come back here because I like this view better. Now, again, this is already a zipped folder. Now, this is basically what comes to you. So if you wanted to, you could actually make a duplicate of this, and we could call this, I'm just going to call this one Weddings. Okay. And then let's say I want to make another one, and I'm going to call this one Music Videos. And let's do another one that's just like for corporate work. Oops. Okay, I probably totally didn't even spell that right, but you can make fun of me, that's fine. Basically, all I wanted to show you is how easy it is to set these up, and what's cool about it too is that they have Finder tags, and I know that I've shown you guys in other trainings how to do this stuff, but what I like about this, let's just go into Weddings, and actually I'm just going to call this Weddings, because I did that. Again, see, I just even did this wrong. So let me do this. It's not that I did them wrong, but I'm going to actually set these up first as... So, for example, okay, so you just unpacked the Final Cut folder template, right? And then I just renamed it to what I wanted it to be. In fact, I'm just going to say, whoops, wedding template. And then when I go inside here, let's just say I'm not going to get any documents from my clients. Let's also go in here on exports. I might not have XML files. I won't be uploading this to Vimeo because everything's going to be on YouTube. Web uploads, I won't have any web uploads other than what I'm putting up to YouTube. I've got my master files and my final deliverables, so that works. And then archive folder, it's in there, but like that's to live somewhere else, so I'm gonna just get rid of that. My Final Cut backups, those are already somewhere else. My graphics, so I don't use like After Effects, Illustrator or Photoshop. Well, for this I won't be using any of those. Okay, cool. And then let's see, even inside video. Well, shoot, I know that I'm only shooting 1080, so I'm going to get rid of these folders. I'll have B-roll, yep, and I shoot on Canon, so that's good. Again, this will just be, most of my weddings are just a single day thing, not multiple day. I won't have any GoPro footage, so I'll get rid of those. I won't be shooting on Canon or Sony or Red. I'll just be having Canon footage. So again, you can see that, and here's the thing. Let's say you're like, oh, I don't have an icon for one of these. What's cool is, so I've got these blank folders right here, and then all you have to do is basically, you can copy and then paste this into into the folder. And then you could name this, let's say you had a GH4, for example, right? So again, it's still color coded, but it might not have a logo on it or like an icon. And I would say this, I've also put on here like one of the folder icon requests. Again, if there's stuff that you guys want, and if I can get enough people that want the same thing, then I'll actually take the time and build them out, if that makes sense. Again, I've tried to go through and think of, everything for you guys, but again, I use the Canon C100. I don't use anything else, so it's kind of like I have some GoPros, I have some other things, but I tried to put just some of the common stuff on there, but I know that like as this thing evolves, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. There's going to be a lot more stuff. But all I'm trying to show you guys quickly is, again, if you take the time to set these up once, you'll see the power after I'm done of like how quick this is to actually implement. So like, let's say after this, I only have SD cards now, and I'm not shooting DSLR, so maybe I'll just go back one and then get rid of DSLR footage. Cool. And again, I think you guys have already seen this, maybe you haven't, but again, all of these have Finder tags, and the importance to Finder tags is when you import now into Final Cut, you can actually create a keyword collection based off of Finder tags. So again, it's doing all the work for you. All you have to do is drag and drop your footage into these folders, you import it, and you're done. Like, it just saves a ton of time, right? And again, it's easy to add those to any of your other folders if you choose to build this stuff out yourself, right? So now that I've done that, I've got everything set up the way that I wanted to. I'm actually going to delete these two things as well. And I'm actually going to rename this to wedding, okay? All right, so now when I back up here, what I'm going to actually end up doing now, this has everything that I need for the template. Oh, but let me just make sure. So I'm going to actually launch into this. I'm just going to hit OK. Again, I created this before 10.3.1, so it just updated everything. Inside here, again, I've kind of created a bunch of like folders that have like a bunch of stuff already pre-set up. But again, if this isn't helpful to you guys, like, get rid of it, Like, it's easy to just click this and hit delete. So, all right, so now I'm just going to go and I'm going to create, again, I'm going to know that my video is always 1080, and I've got, 2398. So this project's already set up, ready to go. So I'm just going to say wedding start. I don't know. You guys can name it whatever you want. All I'm trying to do is to get in here so I can edit the roles. Again, there's probably another way to find that. I just don't know it yet because this is brand new, at least brand new to me. I'm going to add this to purchased music. Dialog 1. So we're going to change this to, I'm just going to say bride. Whoops. Actually, I'll go a little bit more specific here. Mike. Groom Mike. And again, you can create as many sub-roles as you want, right? So that looks good for me for right now. Those are the two that I just need. And I'm gonna hit apply. And now when I close out of this, yep, that's all set up. So now I'm going to compress this, and now it's already called wedding template. So now let's just say, or I guess now when you're ready, you can just type in, the wedding party's name, right? So let's just do Hockley wedding, for example, right? So now let's say I had another wedding. I'm just going to double click this, and then I'm going to call this Turner wedding. So again, now every time I come in here, I'm just going to go to my library file. I'm just going to rename this to Turner Wedding. And then if I go to the Hockley one as well, and I just type in Hockley Wedding. So now what's cool about this is I can open the Hockley one, boom, it's ready to go. And then I can also open the Turner one. And again, you guys, everything is already set up. It just took a little bit of time to get it to this point, but again, I think this is going to save you guys a ton of time. And again, that's just how easy it is to set up these templates. Now, once the templates are set up, now all you have to do is, Command-I, start importing your stuff. And you can go right to the desktop. You can go to Turner Wedding because you've already, I'm assuming that you've already put all this stuff into these folders, organized. So now literally all you have to do is click on video and then make sure that, here it is, keywords from Finder tags and from folders. So again, super helpful, and I don't have anything right now to show you guys other than that, or else I would import this and show you how it automatically adds those things, but super cool. And just another thing, I'd actually leave your files in place instead of copying to the library. Again, if you're going to have this organizational structure, you might as well leave your files in place so that everything stays organized inside those folders, or else, again, this might not be your workflow of wanting to be this organized. But again, my whole purpose and the whole point of why I do what I do is two reasons. One, I love to stay organized, and the other one is if I ever end up handing my footage off to the end client, I love giving them something that just looks polished, right? They can actually see exactly where the audio files are, where the video files are. It just makes you look like a better editor when you're organized and you have all your stuff that's super organized, ready to go. The other thing is, let's say you had to hand off your footage to another editor. They're going to know exactly where stuff is as well. And again, it's visual. It's kind of spelled out. I love the color coding of the icons and things like that. So again, you guys, I had this come up this last week, and I'm thinking, why not be able to share this with you guys as well so that you can create time-saving skills based off of the projects that you actually work on. So again, if you're doing corporate work, you can create stuff based off of each corporate, client that you work with. Set your folders up so that like everything is super organized. And the cool thing is, if let's say you have multiple cameras, let's say you have a GoPro, a C100, a GH4, and a Red. If you put all those into each individual folders, and if you import, from Finder tags or even from the folders themselves, then you've already created keyword collections so that all you have to do is click on it and oh sweet, here's all my Red footage, or here's all my C100 footage, here's my GoPro footage. Like, I don't know. To me, I love it. It doesn't take, like I said, I just set all that stuff up and it took me, 30 minutes to do. But now that I have those templates in place, like, I'm done. It's awesome. So anyway, hopefully this has been super helpful. Comment down below. Let me know if there's things that you guys are missing or if you're wanting further explanation on. Again, I know that I've covered these in some of my other videos, but again, I'm just trying this live thing out. I would love to, I'm actually just trying to get in the habit of doing these. I love the concept of Final Cut Fridays. So anyway, hopefully this has been fun for you guys. Again, comment down below if this has been helpful. Give me a thumbs up. Give me something that lets me know that you guys are liking this stuff. And if there's something that you want me to cover, put it in the notes below and I will get to it next week's episode. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys for this episode or for this week. Super excited, and thanks again, and until next time.